Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and often misunderstood coins in modern American numismatic history, the Washington half-dollar 1971 with no mint mark, a coin that collectors are now re-examining with fresh eyes because of its historical background, condition, rarity in very fine grade, unique production characteristics, and the surprising market value that in rare cases can reach from hundreds to even thousands of dollars depending on errors, varieties, and exceptional preservation. And although many people casually pass by 1971 half-dollars in circulation, serious collectors understand that this year marks a critical transition period in United States coinage history connected to the broader story of post-silver coinage reforms that began after 1964, when silver was removed from most circulating coins due to rising bullion prices. And while most 1971 half-dollars are commonly associated with the John F. Kennedy design introduced in 1964, some collectors mistakenly refer to certain modern commemorative or privately issued Washington-themed half-dollar pieces, but in official U.S. mint production, 1971 half-dollars were struck in copper-nickel clad composition at the United States Mint facilities, with the no-mint mark version specifically produced in Philadelphia, and this absence of a mint mark is itself an important identifier because during that era Philadelphia coins traditionally did not carry a P mint mark, which creates a subtle but historically meaningful distinction compared to coins struck in Denver that bear the D mint mark. And when we talk about a 1971 half-dollar in very fine condition, we are describing a coin that shows moderate wear on the high points of the design, where the hair details and lettering remain clear but softened, the rims are still strong and full, and the fields display circulation marks consistent with decades of handling, yet still maintain eye appeal that serious collectors look for when building type sets or date and mint collections. And what truly excites the market are not just standard circulation examples but rare double die varieties, dramatic off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, and other mint errors that occurred during production at the Philadelphia Mint, because these errors can dramatically elevate the value of an otherwise common date into a highly sought-after collectible, sometimes selling at auction for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grading certification and market demand, especially when authenticated by major grading services and preserved in problem-free holders that guarantee originality. And historically the 1971 issue represents the first full year of regular copper-nickel clad half-dollar production following the 40% silver composition used between 1965 and 1970, which adds to its transitional significance in the broader narrative of American coinage reform, making it an essential chapter for collectors who appreciate not only rarity but also economic history, industrial minting technology, and the shift away from precious metal coinage. And when discussing big market value claims, it is important to clarify that while standard circulated examples typically trade modestly above face value, exceptional mint error pieces, high-grade certified examples, or coins with rare die varieties can command premium prices at competitive auctions, where collector enthusiasm, scarcity, and condition all combine to push realized prices into impressive territory. And as demand for vintage U.S. coinage continues to grow among new collectors entering the hobby through online marketplaces and YouTube communities, renewed interest in overlooked dates like the 1971 no-mint mark half-dollar has created opportunities for sharp-eyed collectors to re-examine pocket change, estate collections, and old bank rolls in search of hidden treasures. And this is why understanding the coin's design details, edge composition, weight specifications, diameter, strike characteristics, and known error varieties becomes absolutely essential for anyone hoping to discover a high-value specimen. Because the difference between a common circulated coin and a rare double die variety could mean the difference between a $1 coin and a four-figure auction result, and that potential for dramatic value variation is exactly what makes the Washington-themed 1971 half-dollar without mint mark such a captivating subject in numismatic discussion. blending history, condition rarity, production quirks, and modern collector demand into one powerful story that continues to unfold in today's coin market. As we continue exploring the 1971 no-mint mark half-dollar, it becomes even more important to understand the broader economic and numismatic environment that shaped its production and long-term collectability. Because 1971 was not just another routine year at the United States Mint, it was a period when American coinage was fully transitioning into the modern clad era, and the half-dollar, still carrying the portrait of John F. Kennedy on the obverse, was struggling to maintain circulation relevance as the public increasingly saved earlier silver issues from 1964 and the 40% silver versions from 1965-1970, creating an unusual supply dynamic in which large mintages were produced but actual circulation demand was limited, meaning many 1971 Philadelphia issues were stored in rolls and bags for years. And today, when we analyze a very fine example, we are examining a coin that genuinely entered circulation, experiencing real commerce where rather than remaining locked away in mint sets, and that circulation history adds character and authenticity that some collectors actually prefer over lifeless uncirculated pieces, especially when the coin retains strong rim integrity, readable Liberty lettering, and visible hairline separation in Kennedy's portrait despite moderate flattening on the highest design points. And while standard price guides may list common circulated examples at only modest premiums, the true excitement emerges when collectors encounter scarce die varieties such as doubled inscriptions, repunched mintmark positions on Denver issues for comparison, or dramatic strike anomalies from Philadelphia that occurred due to die fatigue or improper alignment during high-speed production, because such mechanical deviations can transform a routine clad half-dollar into a headline-worthy collectible that attracts competitive bidding at major auctions, sometimes surpassing hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on certification grade and eye appeal. And in recent years, renewed interest in modern coin eras has pushed collectors to re-examine 1970s coinage with magnification tools, discovering previously overlooked anomalies that were ignored decades ago when attention was focused almost entirely on early copper and silver coinage. And this shift in collector psychology has elevated the historical reputation of transitional clad issues like the 1971 no-mint mark half-dollar, positioning it as an accessible yet potentially rewarding target for beginners and advanced hobbyists alike, particularly because it represents the first full production year after the final 40% silver half-dollars, making it symbolically significant in the timeline of U.S. monetary evolution. And when you combine the transitional symbolism with the possibility of rare era varieties, strong collector nostalgia, and the ongoing expansion of online auction platforms where niche buyers can compete globally, you begin to understand why certain certified examples in attractive condition can achieve surprising realized prices, reinforcing the idea that even a seemingly common modern coin can become historically and financially compelling when examined through the lens of rarity, condition census rankings, and evolving market demand. Continuing even deeper into the legacy of the 1971 no-mint mark half-dollar, we begin to see how this coin fits into a much larger narrative of American monetary transformation, industrial minting precision, and collector psychology, because by 1971 the United States Mint had fully committed to copper-nickel clad production technology, abandoning silver not only for economic necessity but also to stabilize circulating coinage during a period of inflation and metal price volatility. And the Philadelphia facility, located in Philadelphia, was striking millions upon millions of half-dollars without mint marks, a continuation of its long-standing tradition of omitting the P identifier during that era, which today gives collectors a subtle yet historically meaningful diagnostic feature when distinguishing coins from other facilities like Denver, and when evaluating a very fine specimen, advanced numismatists carefully inspect the high-relief areas of the obverse portrait of John F. Kennedy, noting the degree of wear on the hair above the ear, the sharpness of the jawline, and the clarity of the eagle's feathers on the reverse, Because in this grade the coin should retain bold legends and a strong overall outline while displaying even, honest circulation wear rather than damage or harsh cleaning, and it is precisely this balance between preservation and authenticity that determines whether a coin becomes simply a circulated piece or a premium collectible worthy of third-party grading and auction exposure. And although price guides may list ordinary very fine examples at modest premiums over face value, the market reality is that exceptional eye appeal, attractive toning, scarce die states, or dramatic mint errors such as broad strikes, off-center strikes, or significant doubling can propel certain specimens into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars range, especially when bidding competition intensifies among collectors seeking registry quality examples or rare transitional die varieties. And this dramatic value gap between common and rare examples fuels the ongoing treasure hunt excitement that keeps collectors searching through bank rolls, estate collections, and forgotten coin jars, because the possibility always exists that an overlooked Philadelphia strike with no mint mark could possess a distinctive anomaly or superior preservation that elevates it into a far more valuable category. And as modern numismatics continues evolving in the digital age, with online auctions, grading population reports, and global buyer participation, the 1971 half dollar has quietly gained renewed attention as a foundational clad era issue, symbolizing the end of America's circulating silver chapter and the beginning of a new industrial minting standard, making it not just a coin of metal and design, but a tangible artifact of economic history whose most valuable examples demonstrate how condition rarity, production quirks, and collector demand can combine to transform an everyday half dollar into a headline-worthy collectible within the dynamic world of coin history.